Hi. I've got, yeah, from Michigan. Oh my goodness. I've got my notes. Oh, I bet. Far from the horrors. What was this episode? I had to have TK give me a 10-minute warning, and it still took me 15 minutes. I had to go make my coffee, and I have the bougiest fucking coffee in the world. It's a double shot goat's milk caramel flat white. Yeah, so bougie you can't even get this fucker at Star Wars or at Starbucks. Okay, now let's get to the page. Okay, yeah, my notes are also under the usual caveat, with the added condition that I hadn't slept for about 2 days. So I open it up, and the first thing I see is unhinged in all caps. Where is it? Yeah. So, Series 19, Episode 7, Glass Half Most. Yeah, that was. It made no sense. Which, see, that's what I expected from Rosie. I expected the fail woman. I'm not sad with what we got, but I do feel a little bit cheated. Okay, I don't need this in my way. Oh my god. Yes, the banter. Oh, I didn't even get. Yeah, that's way down my. I apparently wrote down everything I liked. And what my first note says, Taskmaster is the Blitz, which I think that was in reference to Greg accusing Jason of coming over and like just breaking all the rules and stealing all the women. Oh, so that's what you meant earlier. see, see the accents and hair are my two biggest tools that I use because I'm completely fucking face blind. So I've got really good at the accents. Oh, hang on. Oh no, apparently you are not audible. Oh no. Nope. I can hear you. Hang on, I'm gonna do a thing. Essentially. I don't hear the wind. It's something on my end. What have I done? Yes. No. What if I put you through this? Now say something.
Something, something,
Ah!
something, Matt
Stop saying
Bainton.
something. Okay, I fixed it. Let me undo this bullshit I did down here. There we go. Now you can talk. Oh,
Great.
you're still very loud. Okay, perfect. It wouldn't be the Transformative Taskmaster without some bizarre calamity up top.
Hmm. Uh, okay, it seems like we've maybe fixed it,
Yeah,
unless I'm still really loud.
no, I fixed it.
Okay, great.
That's why I was screaming at you, because you were so loud.
Whoops. My bad.
I had to take off an increased volume filter that I'd put on thinking that
Oh,
would do it. And then I
all
actually
right.
found the problem. And so then I had to take that filter off.
Cool.
But yes.
Um,
And then. And then I
okay,
like.
yeah.
Yeah, so I
So,
have Taskmaster as the Blitz. Which. Yeah, that's definitely in regard to Jason. And
yeah.
then Alex accused of sparking up and avoiding his children. Because
Yeah.
that was the intro, I believe, is what I took from that.
Yeah. Tuck an iPad in front of one of the kids. I mean,
Yep.
to be fair, he always is carrying around an iPad,
He
so
is. I can't remember where it was. It was on some podcast or something somewhere he was on. He's done a fucking million of them. And he was talking about trying to get his children to have less screen time, except they're getting to the age now where one of them said, "But you're always on your phone."
rip.
Yep.
Called out. So let's talk about these edible shoes.
Ugh.
Because what was that even made of?
I'm guessing fruit leather.
But the same stuff that he had like the edible
Yeah,
under.
yeah, the ones that looked like they were for a builder.
So gross, dude. So gross. Um,
Ugh,
yeah. I mean, just what why? And it looked so disgusting
it
to take
did.
a bite out of because it was like all stringy and stuff, and I was like, why are you
And then
doing this,
on
my
top
guy?
of that, he did the raisin gag again. And he started that back in series 3, and it was probably even a horn section thing before that. Who
Yeah.
knows? But every time he does it, I think of Scoopy just melting. Because it was
Oh,
the
yeah.
Cerro Pasco snowman, and she used ice cream. Like it,
So gross.
it's ugh. It's
Yep.
still better than what was it? I think it was series 15 where he scraped off all the dead skin from Greg's back and then ate it.
Feet?
Feet. So, it was disgusting, and I gagged, almost threw up watching watching Taskmaster.
Yeah. And that's not the only time you're almost gonna throw up watching Taskmaster,
Mm.
especially during this episode.
Oh my god. So let's actually
So gross.
get into the tasks. We're
All right,
10
now
minutes
the
in.
prize task. The the dramatic music when Alex was
Oh
talking, I
my
was like, what
god.
is
And then yeah,
this?
so,
Like,
so
I
the
love it.
the prize task, the biggest anticlimax with the
Oh
perfect
my gosh, that was
introduction.
so good. That was so funny. And I was like, okay, this is a really, really solid prize task category.
I I feel like he's transcended the era of Greg accusing him of running out of ideas. And I don't know
Yeah,
if it's
yeah, it kind of
that
seems like it.
or the fact that there hasn't been a bad episode for prize tasks. That there's always at
Hmm.
least one where he just gets so pissed off at everybody because they either missed the mark or didn't even try, and we haven't had that.
Yeah. Now obviously I wrote down in all caps, Matt, you are brilliant because
I
that was artistry right
I
there.
wrote
That was
lies,
amazing.
Rube Goldberg.
Amazing. Oh my gosh, I loved that so much. It was perfect. The setup was amazing.
It was So
Yeah,
we normally,
I really like.
yeah, and the two of us normally don't discuss the episode, but I did say something earlier, I think, about Rosie's because I've watched it twice now, and both times it took about halfway through her explaining it for me to realize that they're not talking about Ed Gamble's wedding. Like his is just the wedding in
Yeah,
my head, I guess. And then I actually look at the photo and I'm like, "Oh god, that's horrible."
yeah.
Does anyone else think he got the idea from Alex's Wilty story that one time? Would not be surprised. Cuz
Yeah.
I
Hopefully the
my
man has done some research.
cuz yeah, my
I'm
brain went
so
there as
angry at
well.
Matt.
You're
I'm
angry at
so
him.
angry at Matt because he early on was like, dude, I did so bad. And I'm like, oh, poor baby's gonna come fourth or fifth.
I know.
You son of a bitch.
This whole lineup minus Jason, I guess, is completely subverting every expectation I had.
Yeah, Stevie's making me look bad at this point because I thought she was gonna. Come
See,
on, girl. You know what? You know why? It's because she looks so put together, and I had never
yeah,
heard of her before this. So all I had to go off of was her look, and that was it. And she looks so put together, and I was like, oh, she's gonna do really well.
oops. See,
Um,
I
Jason's Jason's trophy was
fucking
horrifying.
cursed.
Um,
Absolutely fucking
really, really
cursed.
funny. And then I wrote down a quote. It's truly haunted. It's evil. It's my face.
Yeah, I wrote the exact same thing.
Yes,
Right, and then right underneath that, kissable lips.
yes, I said the lips work. They're kissable. Also, what do you mean the lips work? No one's ever said that about lips before, ever, Jason. The lips
No.
work. What do you mean they work? They're kissable. Why do you know that? How do you know that, Jason?
Have you tested it? Have you tried?
How do you know that they're kissable, Jason?
Christ.
And
And then
then
I have Fatia, just her bag of crisps. That,
everybody knows.
yeah,
Like
it's
Ed and Stevie on their podcast, they were like, it's not a surprise because we're already conditioned to know that
yeah, like I believe it's one of the
there's
banned
not going to be that
posts.
many crisps in the
Uh,
bag.
yeah, I'm pretty sure it's a banned post on Mildly Infuriating because
Is it
everyone.
really?
Yeah, I think so. Eh, just like eggs are banned on Mildly Interesting.
Mm. Uh,
And then who have we missed? Oh yeah, Stevie just has a fancy
Stevie.
jewelry box full of tat.
I mean, I understood what she was talking about because
I
I
got it.
have
Yeah.
yeah, like I have one of those, and you open it, and there's like a little clay Perry the Platypus in it, and there's like a plastic ring or something, and like some little rocks and like a marble or something. I think, yeah, like something like that. And I'm like, yeah, I mean, that's essentially what they're used
See,
for.
I
But you
have
do
one
expect to
too.
find like some kind of treasure in there or something.
I have one too, and that's where I keep my cufflinks and my tie clips and all those things.
Yeah,
So mine is kind of full of treasure, but it lives up to it, I guess.
right.
But yeah,
Um,
Matt
and then
absolutely deserved to
judge,
win.
oh, 100%. Judging the tasks from Greg, there is a very small part of me that feels affection towards you,
Oh yes,
which I thought was very sweet because, that's obviously a change from your typical Greg the Taskmaster. Although we have, clearly stated in this series in particular, they are very lovey-dovey this
yeah,
season,
yeah. They've swung
and
back
you
into
love
the
to see it.
honeymoon era.
It's so cute. I love that for them. The
That just
next
means
task
that
was
by
the
around
box
21, they're gonna be at each other's throats again.
man. I don't want that.
See,
I just want
I
them to
like that better. I
listen.
think it's hilarious. But that's just me. So yes, prize
All right,
2.
so the next one was
What's
like the escape room-esque
yeah,
box
I can
task.
read them off here. Uh
Okay.
what is in the one yellow box? You may only give one answer. All the information is in the task. In the task.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Which tells me that there
I
was
liked this
something
one.
on the task itself that would have told them as well.
Yeah. Yeah. I liked this one a lot. I think that I would also have done the escape room thing of trying to figure out everything. Also,
But
I wrote
before we get
down
into this,
what?
people watching this, please help. Where the fuck have we seen that bear before?
Oh yeah. We've seen the bear. Was it during the traffic the or not the traffic when they
It
were
might
all
have
in the
been.
car
I. It might have been there, but it's definitely something that has been more prominent,
like in another series?
or even on another show. But I've seen that fucker before,
What
and a
what
couple of
was
people in the
Angela
server.
Dravid dressed up as? Do you remember for her cameo?
Don't know, but I can check.
Because Angela Dravid came in for a later series of
That's New Zealand, isn't it?
Taskmaster New Zealand.
Which series was she on?
And well, she was in the first one, but she
Okay.
cameoed in a later one, and I don't remember which one it was. I think only like one person found out that it was her, and everybody else just didn't bother taking the mask off. Because it might have been like Find Paul or something, I forget.
Was it David who found her?
I don't remember. It was just really funny because like she was there for all five of them, but only one of them found out that it was her.
Uh,
But I don't remember what she was dressed as. I don't know if it was a bear or something
I don't know
else.
either, but now I need to check.
I wrote down
Series 2 finale, apparently. Where did I put it? I don't know. I've been lied to. Whatever. Whatever.
well, in any case, I wrote down lots of monsters this series.
There have been, and someone else pointed out that it may have something to do with the theme, the mad scientist theme, because that is
Yeah,
something that doesn't really get used a lot. Is the theme as part of the tasks?
maybe that's something that I could ask the Andes if we ever get them on our podcast.
Well, I mean, it's been announced.
Oh, has it? Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry. I forgot. Well, because I spoiled somebody, Mark
I think
or
you did, yeah.
something earlier, and I was like, I don't remember who we've announced, but yeah, maybe I'll ask the Andes. I'll write this down. That'll be a week after I get home from camp.
Wow. Which, yes, on our Patreon, for members, or I believe you can just buy access, I can't remember off the top of my head, you should be able to. We do have a post up there so you can ask the Andes. We've put it up on Patreon because we're struggling. Podcasts are expensive.
Yeah, they sure are.
But, so...
Okay, so, all right.
Did you see the magazine?
Yeah, so the Sugar Guys magazine is back from the last series in episode 10, but this one was a Christmas edition.
Wait, it was in last
because
series
they had
as
like
well?
Huh?
It was in... We've seen that before.
Yeah,
well.
it was in last series episode 10. Series what are we on? Series 18 episode 10, it was in there.
Huh.
Because I think it was during a banter section, I think. Alex pulled it out and he was like, look, it's
I
us.
maybe I do remember that. Okay.
Yeah. But this one was a Christmas themed one. So that was really funny. I liked that.
Yeah, I enjoyed that
And yeah, like
that Jason criticized the bear's tastes.
yeah, that was funny. Uh yeah, this whole thing screamed escape room to me.
Yeah.
And then I was okay, so you know how usually there's a seagull out here screaming. Um, you know how usually there will be like, okay, so and so took, 20 minutes, so and so took 17 minutes, so and so took 16 minutes, blah blah blah. But so and so took 4 minutes, and everyone's like, wow, that's the fastest time, right?
Yeah.
And usually in those instances, I always think like, man, they must just like chat for a few minutes or something before they like get up and go because like 4 minutes does not seem like it should have taken them that long to just do the task. So when Alex said that Fatiha got 38 seconds, I was like,
Yeah.
yo, that's gotta be a record. Like that
Um
that has to be a record.
no, I think Sophie actually beat it. Sophie Duker.
But like top five, you know.
Oh yeah, top 3 cuz I think
Yeah,
cuz yeah, like she got what was it sub 30 seconds on hitting the maypole with the ping pong ball.
such a good task.
Yeah. And then she, put money on it and almost owed money to Chris.
Yeah.
Love that
Yeah.
stuff.
So I didn't really have I didn't really have any other notes for
I
this task other than
I've
I
got a
thought it was
lot.
fun to watch
I liked it apparently.
Matt and Jason run around.
Yes, so what I have for them is both ignore the answer and perish. That's what I have for that. Which, yeah, like they just came so close. And then they just said, fuck it, I'm gonna just do everything else, including terrorize a poor guy trying to fish.
Yep.
And
Okay,
then
I lied and I am on the live chat and somebody said I can give you another question for Andy C after this episode and yes we can and I've already written it down.
what am I, a
Actually, because
fake
I want to
fan?
talk to him. I want to talk to him about both the playing guitar for Fatiha's task and him being part of the crowd for Matt's because holy cow.
TK and being accused of being a fake fan.
Unbelievable. Can't believe you don't remember every single second of every single episode of Taskmaster.
I don't even remember
How dare
getting up
you?
to make my coffee. You guys have no idea. And then, yeah, so that one. Fatia absolutely knocked it out of the park. Stevie just. She just, worked through the puzzle and then apparently lost her fucking mind.
Yeah,
And then, of course, Jason wrecked shit right after.
of course. Because why wouldn't he?
This was a big episode for tantrums from him.
Yeah, yeah.
Because, yeah, I think he threw on every task but the prize task. Because this one, he just chucked everything everywhere.
Yeah.
For the next task, long sigh. That was definitely a tantrum.
I was so upset on his behalf.
Shall we do this? Task number 3. Eat this yogurt with the most stroke least dignity.
Let's talk about everybody
Unhinged.
but Matt first, please.
Yes.
Jesus Christ.
Unhinged. So,
Oh,
right off the bat, Alex is
wait, wait, wait,
playing
wait, wait, wait.
stupid games with his pen.
First of all,
First of all,
right before that, we get a baby boy from Greg,
oh,
which we
we
do
do.
not get at the end of the episode. So that was important to make sure we got a baby boy pet name for Alex from Greg because we did not get one at the end of the episode. Um, the pen thing was hilarious. I feel like I would have noticed a pen in my face because I'm very like spatially aware of myself if I don't have my phone in front of me. Um, so yeah, I feel like I would have, but I was obsessed with how Jason was like, yeah, I see the marker and just gets the pen out from
Yeah.
his pocket. I was like, yes, Jason, we come prepared. That's what
I
we're
always
talking
thought
about.
in the hypothetical world where I'm on Taskmaster, because you can bring your own shit with you, a pen was
Yeah,
always going to be up there. Like a green
yeah,
Sharpie or something, so that it's distinct.
yeah.
And then he whips out a knife right there in studio.
I loved that. That was amazing.
Well, the thing, it must be classified as a pen knife or something. Because the laws over there, even for knives, are very different. Like, Greg's
Oh, for like
react.
carrying a knife?
Yeah. Like, you can be restricted from buying certain kitchen knives.
Hmm,
And
interesting.
yeah, so I feel like Greg's why would you bring that on a television show was reacting to something that shouldn't actually be happening.
Yeah, I loved it. I thought it was hilarious.
Yes, night with
Um,
accompanying light. I love that
so
so much. So
let's talk
yes.
about Jason first because his
Oh
outfit
god.
was,
It was perfect for this.
oh my gosh. My partner is texting me right now and he's like, hold on. He says I'm 27 minutes into this episode. Fucking
Oh.
unhinged nonsense. I just got to Matt with the yogurt. Yes. Yeah, Jesus fucking Christ.
I mean,
Okay, so Jason,
Ed said
Jason's
it best,
outfit,
but we'll get there. Yeah.
Jason's outfit, okay, was like he says, "Is that what you want to do, babe?" No. The
Nope.
little bow tie and the
Yeah,
white shirt,
and
super cute. I
his
loved
brown
his
brogues.
and his posture was really cute.
You
And
could.
then and I loved his idea. And
It was yeah.
so sad for him
You could
that
see
like
his
the
soul just escape.
yeah, I mean the because he I guess the top cup must have been on wrong or something, and it so that's like why it spilled. And like it was so sad because if it had worked, it would have been like so good. And then because it was spilling all down his hand, I was like, no, Jason, that sucks.
Yeah,
It was
you could just
so
see it on his face.
I
Just
was so
why am I still
sad.
doing this?
Oh my gosh. Yeah, and then tipping over the table at the end and then revealing that he was just like wearing shorts underneath or jeans or something. That was so funny.
Yeah. It was just his jeans and brown brogues, which is what he's been wearing. That
So good.
that was a face.
Um,
And then yeah,
yeah,
Stevie
and
had
then
the exact same idea. Like
yeah,
she executed it differently. And
yeah.
I wrote down Alex looking like a Downton footman stroke tin soldier before Greg even said that.
Yeah.
Which that posture of his just
So funny.
loved it. And then
Yeah, I wrote
Rosie
down
and
after Jason's thing, his motto is destroy, dismantle, engulf in flames, which is
gee, that
such a
sounds
great
familiar.
such a great uh like family crest because you've got the Horn family crest, which is print, laminate, distribute.
Yes. And then there's
And then
also
you've
the
got
sheer
the
driving
Manzukis family
pleasure.
crest, destroy, dismantle, engulf, and flame.
But I couldn't
Uh,
help but notice that his motto certainly sounded awfully familiar. And we
yeah.
won't go into anything else. And then Rosie just became this mad yogurt dictator.
Yeah, I didn't like that.
No.
That her telling the other people what to do and then watching them do it, I was like, ugh,
Ugh,
I don't like this.
ugh. And then, I mean, Fatia, she was just, what were they called? Glamour shots? That's what she, yeah, that's what
Lounging
she
on the
was.
sofa. So funny.
Like,
Oh
it
my
had that
god.
exact same energy to it. Of the, I'm 12, but I want to look like a 40-year-old woman after she's had too much wine. My sister got those.
Uh, oh, I also wrote down that Stevie's outfit that she wore during this task matched her task outfit with the black and gold, and I really liked
Oh,
that.
yeah.
That continuity was, I mean, you already know I am obsessed with CB's task outfit this series. It's like one of my favorites of all time. And for her to like pull out another outfit for that like matches
Yeah.
for that task, I was like, this is pristine. And again, like she just has that look of being very put together. Her hair is always like immaculate, like slicked back, like just no hair out of place. Like her nails are perfect.
Yeah.
Her like her makeup and her jewelry and everything, it just is like so perfect. And even like her coming onto Ed's podcast, the official Taskmaster podcast, she still just looks so put together.
She does.
But now I know better.
But yeah, like what you said about her costume, Alan Davis did the same thing. He had a contingency because there was
Yeah,
one entire task that warranted taking off his hoodie, and he still had
yeah,
the dignity scribble on there.
yeah. Um, Also, Andy C, we get our first cameo of Andy C playing guitar in the background of Fatiha's task.
He did
So
that
that
for
was
Morgana
cute.
as well.
Yes, he did that for Morgana also.
And then,
Um, and then, okay, so then we have the throw to an ad break. And what I wrote down was, in all caps, not the fucking throw to an ad break, because basically, Fatiha was like, was my attempt good or not?
yeah, and
And
he
Greg
just
just
shut her
goes,
down.
and now it's time for an ad break. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Well, I mean, if anything,
Stop it.
he's
He's
learning to
already
speak
dead.
her language.
It was so funny.
Just
Oh my
shut
gosh.
down and deflect.
Okay, and now, drum roll, please, for
But
the
before we even
intro.
get into that,
Well, here's how we get into that, is because before we get to Matt's task attempt,
Christ,
we get Alex, saying welcome back from the break, and
whatever.
or Greg saying that, and then Greg is like, what are we up to? And Alex goes, dignity and yogurts, Greg's safe word, and it always has been. And I'm just like, I cannot believe they actually finally used the phrase safe
They
word on
did.
this show. It has been long enough,
I,
but what a safe word.
I'm just fucking baffled at how horny this series has been.
I mean, it's insane. It
It
is
is.
insane. I'm
Like,
not ready. I
well,
was
what
okay.
really killed me as well was that Greg didn't really react. So
He just laughed.
yeah, like it seemed like he knew that was coming because that wasn't the kind of laugh where Alex has caught him off guard.
Yeah. I mean, at this point, I am not prepared for series 20,
Oh my
especially knowing,
god.
like, I keep saying this every week, especially knowing that I have just had this conversation about fanfic with Alex right before they started filming series 20. And I am now terrified. Like, I was excited at first because I was like, oh, maybe we'll get
Well,
more, fic mentions or fic drops or whatever. But now I'm just like holding on for dear life because
oh
what
my.
is happening? What is happening?
Something horrible is
Um,
happening. I can't comprehend it.
yeah, I don't know what's happening anymore, man.
And
Okay,
we still haven't
so
got to the thing we've been not talking about.
yeah, let's just skip that and not talk about it at all. So anyway, then there was the water bucket task. Let's
No, we have to.
All right, we have to now. Okay, now I've got to say right off the bat that everyone here knows that I already am in love with Matt Bain. Okay, this is no secret at this point.
I had to go find screenshots for the thumbnail, and I
This
took
task,
about 10 and just said, "Here, I've got a present."
I was not prepared for all of that because him walking out almost naked was one thing. That in itself, that shot of just him walking out with twit written all over him
I,
and
I
hearts around his nipples, and a circle around his belly button, and and the way that he was walking, I was like, he weirdly, his walk is like almost dignified. And then the second he got onto the ground, I was like, oh no,
yeah.
oh no, what is happening? What is happening? And I didn't even see Alex at that point. I just saw Matt kneel down on the ground and I was like, no, oh no, oh my gosh, what's going on? What's going on? And and then okay, so so
I've
what I
written
wrote down
straight kink,
what I
filth,
wrote down
insanity.
was what I wrote down was in all caps, holy shit, shoe licking. Please forgive me, Daddy. Making Alex read the daddy bit.
Well, like,
Um, Now I'm gonna pause here because there's an important announcement I need to make and a
uh-oh.
special shout out that I need to do. So obviously, and also like in the official podcast with Ed,
Of course someone
Ed,
is.
Ed, Ed said, um, Ed said it really feels like he's doing a fan fiction writer's jobs for them.
Yeah.
Brother, you're not wrong. So what so like as you know, I'm at camp and I have had this thing this year where I've been posting a fic a day. And because of this, I've run into this problem where I will write fics like about unhinged stuff that happens in a series like this. And I won't post them immediately like I normally do because I need to like, you know, sparse them out so that I can have enough time to like be at camp and not worry about writing while I'm at camp. Although I have been writing at camp because what the fuck. Um, so I posted two things yesterday, I think. One was Blow Me Jason from last week. And one was what is it called? Please forgive me. Please forgive me, Daddy. And I was informed that someone else had posted a fic called Blow Me Jason and a fic called Forgive Me Daddy.
Oh
And I
no.
was not aware of this. And apparently I posted after they posted, which usually, again, does not happen because I am very known in our community as like, I will churn out the fics
You
faster than
do.
you can imagine, right? And so
You,
I
you
was
you've
like,
got a
oh
fic
my
written
gosh,
before it's occurred to me to
I
write a
didn't
fic.
realize I didn't realize this because I'm not like I'm literally only going on AO3 to like chuck something at like a new post and then leaving immediately. So I didn't know this at all and I was like, "Oh no, I'm horrified." And so I found with the help of the person that pointed this out to me, the person that had written the fix. And I'm gonna shout them out now because I do have their permission to do this. I asked them. It is the newest member of our group chat, P Willie. So that's P_Willie with an IE at the end, on AO3. Go check them out because they're two fics that I read today because I felt really bad, are amazing and really, really good. So definitely go read those. I was like, oh my gosh, this is fantastic. And so I messaged them on Tumblr and I was like, hey, can I mention you on the podcast? And they were like, yeah, sure. And I was like, okay, great. Also, come join our group chat, because this is awesome. And also their Tumblr is really good too. Lots of Taskmaster stuff, but also like Paul Williams specific stuff. And like, oh, I'm a sucker for Paul Williams. So like, go check it out. But anyway,
You do
I
have a
digress.
type.
So I really do though. So yeah, I mean, this is definitely one of those instances of like so many cakes, not just two cakes, so many cakes. Because yeah, like they literally just all we had to do was just write down exactly what happened, and that's a
Yeah,
whole
it's a fic.
explicit fic on AO3. Like, what
Yeah,
is happening?
that was
Um,
filth.
I the crawling up to Alex's shoes and the Greg statue sat behind Alex as a constant reminder that the Taskmaster is always the one in charge. I mean, the cinematography of this was simply amazing, astounding, even. And the oh my gosh, the statue behind Alex and Alex being stood there the way that he was, and then like the crew standing there watching. So you already have exhibitionism, voyeurism, daddy kink, shoe licking, shoe kink. Like this is only
Humiliation,
five
degradation.
humiliation, degradation, like almost free use at this point. I mean, and then apparently, okay,
Just
I think
throwing it out there, this would be a scene at the loft.
oh, 100%. It would, I mean, it literally is
Yeah.
a scene. And Matt's safe word was something like that then or whatever it is he said. Um but okay,
I
so either Ed or Stevie on their podcast, they said sort of wondered if Alex was gonna start whipping him.
yeah, I think that was Stevie.
I think Stevie said that, yeah.
Yeah,
Anything,
we started
and
when
then
we
she
started
said,
because it was down to TK. Sorry about that.
what happened?
Oh, someone checked the YouTube that time that was originally posted, which was an hour later. Because either I'm bad
Yeah.
at time zones or you got available earlier. Anyway,
Oh,
yes.
yeah.
Sorry about that. But yeah, like, going back to the cinematography, so to pull back the curtain a little bit, when I do the thumbnails for these, what I normally do is it's two different it's two different copies of it just overlapped on top of one another, and then one's enlarged and spherized and inside the magnifying glass. And on that second layer, what I do is I bump up the vibrance all the way, and then like just kind of dodge bits of it to make it, pop a bit better. And when I
Yeah.
did this, it just came out deep fried inside the magnifying glass, doing nothing that I hadn't done on any of the other ones. Because it
Yeah,
was
that was
just so
interesting.
bright and so colorful to begin with. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah, no, this was full kink on telly.
I do need to call out another person that's doing transformative work. Okay, according to this, it's Carlton Lassie with a C. Carlton Lassie made some incredible art on Tumblr. Go check that out because oh my gosh, it is amazing. Like
Let's go see. Because I can do this
yeah,
now. I
anyway.
fixed it.
Have
Uh,
you not seen this art
no.
of Alex licking Greg's shoe?
Nope.
Bro, get ready. Get ready.
Okay, well, surprisingly, nobody's put it on my dash.
Okay, well, if somebody, well, it's in the Discord under, uh, uh, it's under, the, the fan art, the other fan art one channel.
It's okay, I found it.
Okay, great.
But
You
don't
see
bump.
it? You see how gorgeous it is?
Oh my god.
Right.
Oh, that
It's
third one.
perfect. Uh-huh. Somebody drop this in the chat, please.
Yeah, we're having a
Like,
lot of
for the people
earthquakes
that
here
are
right now.
watching live. It's so
Oh,
good.
I can.
Oh my gosh, I'm stunned
How do
over
you
it.
do this? Copy. I don't know how to use Tumblr. Let's hope we don't get banned.
Yep. So go check that out because it's amazing.
Oh my god. So, yeah, like this was just. So the thing that struck me as particularly odd and like I don't even really know why it was odd, but the fact that he was doing this to Alex and not the statue of Greg like everyone else does.
Yeah.
Like that statue is so venerated, and I love that people just go along with the lore of the show.
Right. Well, to be fair to him, licking yogurt off the shoes of the Taskmaster would be more dignified than licking
Yeah,
yogurt off the
like
shoes
I
of the
don't
Taskmaster's assistant.
yeah, like I don't know how intentional that was, or if it just comes off as like, oh, that's not right, just because we know who the assistant is. But man,
So yeah, so I'm gonna have to ask Andy C about that because like what the actual and
yeah.
also do you want to talk about what Ed found out behind the scenes on the official podcast
I
about
mean, we
Matt's
might as
outfit there?
well. I put that in the thumbnail as well. How he once again wound up just
Yep.
showing his dick
So
and balls to everybody. Or I
if
guess
you
mainly
haven't
ball.
listened to the official podcast, according to Ed, like the sun was so bright that it was shining through Matt's underwear to the point where you could see everything. And then they had to like edit it out, which was, I mean, that's just insane. Like he could have just gone naked at that point. He should have just
Congratulations,
gone naked
Matt. You've
at that point.
outdone Phil Wang. I
Oh
didn't
my
think
gosh.
that was possible.
Yeah. Insane. Also, just a really quick thing about the about Stevie going on Ed's podcast is that, and I forget what the context was for this, but she said something like anything for Daddy's golden head, and I'm like, I love that they're still
Yeah.
calling it that. So funny. And according to her, like the whole cast, every time they ran into each other in the hallway after that, they were like, "Please forgive me, Daddy." Like, what
it,
the heck is
it's amazing what
happening?
the mind does.
Yeah. I did write down that they're really putting the crew to work this series
They are.
because the crew has been so involved in these tasks. I mean, like the people that were in Fatiha's task attempt and the ones that were watching on for Matt and every, I'm just like, man.
Not to mention last episode that they had
Yeah, with all the
Alex be
monsters
horrendously
and
rude to everyone.
right, yeah. But yeah, all the monsters and the crow and the bear and
Yeah,
all that kind of stuff too. Yeah.
not the fisherman.
Yeah, that was so funny.
I think that's the
So yeah,
first time anyone's ever stalked a member of the public.
so funny. All right, so that was
So,
that. But
yeah,
then
Matt
Greg being
deserved the
like
5 points plus five more, honestly.
100%. And then Greg being like, I've written this down and I would like you to read it, Alex.
Yeah,
And Alex
makes
and
Alex read
both
it.
both him and Alex in that moment are like, we all know that this is coming. This isn't surprising to anybody at this point. In fact, if we didn't do this right now, it would be more surprising to everyone because everyone is expecting Greg to look at Alex and to be like, say the daddy thing to me. Because that is canonically what they do now. Like, it's just what they do now, and
It
it is
is.
just insane. Insane. And Alex, he just does it straight faced, looks right at Greg when he says it, and I'm just like, this is such a normal, light entertainment comedy show. Just so normal. You know,
Like,
just normal things.
well, I've probably mentioned this on this podcast by now, surely. But the first thing my husband ever laid eyes on with this show, I was in the bedroom watching it, lying in bed, which did not help this situation. And
I remember this
he
story.
walked in. He opened the door and walked in just, to see what I was up to. At the precise moment, Alex put his bare ass on a cake. And then he just watched that for a few seconds. No context to what he was seeing. Looked at me and goes, "What in the fuck weird kind of porn are you watching?" And it took me months to convince him that this show is not porn.
Yeah.
I don't think that's true anymore. There are some people who liked Matt's Task an awful lot. Extremely normal. Trying to introduce a friend to
Yeah, I don't
Taskmaster, and I usually do that by showing the current episodes, and it's so hard to do that with this episode without providing extensive context. I don't need it even in context.
even in I was listening, or I was watching the last part of Ed and Stevie's podcast episode on YouTube this morning in preparation for this live stream. And I was watching it, and like two of my coworkers were next to me, and I was like, "Do either of you watch Taskmaster?" And they're like, "No." And I'm like, "Okay, probably what you're about to hear is going to be pretty weird." And then they started talking about the sun shining through Matt's pants, and they were like, "What are you listening to?" I'm like, "Don't, I can't, I don't have time to explain this to you."
It's a family orientated show.
Because even in the context, it still doesn't make any sense why
No.
he would do this.
Why did he do that? Why
The
19
string of
twits and a
sit,
twat? Oh
the
my,
string of sit
ugh.
connecting the two, and then the quick licking. Every time, because I saw the gift set of it, which I'm like, um, because it's like so gross, but it's also so enthralling. Like you can't, it's a train wreck. You can't look away. And just like whenever he starts licking quickly, there's something funny in my chest happens, and I'm not really sure what it is.
It
It's
makes
just
me
like,
want to use those dog bowl reacts that I've got.
yeah, 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 yeah.
My little dog
Oh
bowl
yeah, and
reacts.
because okay, so this is also funny because we were trying to figure out like why they had pushed back the episode by an hour. And because in the US we don't have a
We
watershed.
do,
Like that's
actually.
not well, okay, but like
It's
we don't really have a
No,
watershed.
we don't because everyone's gripped by the balls by the ad companies, but legally we do, and it's called Safe Harbor, and it's at the same time. You used to be able to
Yeah,
fucking swear, must see Thursdays on NBC. Couldn't say
yeah,
fuck, but you could get away with an awful lot.
yeah. And we were like, I wonder why this episode was pushed back an hour. Well, now we know. It's because it had to be after the watershed. Good Lord.
Yeah. Which led to me having to explain to my husband how football works. So I turned it on because I knew there was a game on before it, so I turned it on to see who won, and I was watching that, and then he comes to join me, and he goes, "There's 80 minutes," and I go, "Yes, out of 90." These games are really good at being done when they say they're going to be done, and he goes, but they've only got 10 minutes in, and I'm like, it's counting down or counting up. It's not counting down. And then he looks and goes, "Oh." And then there was like 5 minutes of extra time put on, and he goes, "I thought you said that they were going to end when it ends," and it's like, yeah, and after that 5 minutes, unless something amazing happens, which it wasn't likely in the game that was played, like
Yeah.
maybe another minute will be added.
Right.
Whereas American ball games can seem to be able to go on for eternity. And you get that especially in baseball. And you can tell it came from cricket. And you said in an interview with Mark or Joe, someone, you somehow you got to talking about cricket with somebody, and
Mark.
Mark, yeah,
He's
and
like, you don't have that over there,
we
right? I'm
do,
like, no. Or
and
no,
it's
wait, it was James and Allie, I think.
oh yeah, no, well yeah, there are cricket leagues mostly in the Midwest, in the plains.
Don't look at me. I live in California.
But yes, there are.
I'm not fucking with the Midwest.
On a quick side note, Channel 4 were subtitling the football match commentary live. Like, I don't give a fuck about football, but I was genuinely so impressed. Yeah, that's got really easy. If I wanted to, I could use one with OBS. It's, captions, audio source. I can only do one. Okay, cool. Let's see what happens. I don't know. I put something somewhere. Uh,
Ba-da-ba-ba-da business.
Something will happen or it won't. Okay. But yeah, like, they've got really good when they work. I've never used the auto captioner on OBS though, so something might happen. But yeah, like
So
I've
anyway, so I had to message my best friend messaged me and he was like, this episode is insane.
oh my god.
I was laughing the entire time. And I was like, yeah, but you only watched the YouTube version, so you missed the safe word discussion, which is one of my highlights of this episode. And then, of course, y'all know what my partner, because I told him, because we're in the middle of moving right now, and he's doing the moving while I'm in Michigan, and then I'll help with the
Oh,
rest when
lucky
I get
you.
back. But I was like, take a break and watch a Taskmaster because they're straight up doing kink on the show. And
Yeah.
at this point,
No.
I'm not exaggerating. Like, a lot of times on this, especially on this show, we'll be like, they're just straight up doing kink.
Yeah,
And it's like,
like
I mean, yeah, kind of,
like
but
the
this
cake
episode
that they've done
specifically,
cake sitting twice, and that's like, once is an accident.
and it's like, you literally used the phrase safe word.
Yeah.
If that's not kink, I don't know what
No,
is.
yeah, like it straight up was, because like my husband and I were watching it, and like we were both just baffled, and I think it's been said multiple times now about this series. Alex has got his wish, and they've just turned Taskmaster into Taskmaster Blue. Um,
I love it. Works for me.
but yes, talking about Channel 4 and their and their subtitles, they posted something this morning. Where did it go? Here it is.
Oh, that was the thing that you put in the Discord, right?
Yeah.
I didn't watch it.
Oh, it's really good.
I didn't watch it because I'm at camp and I didn't have time.
Oh. Basically, it seems like something Joe Lycett might have written, where where
Mhm.
it's this dude at a desk, and it seems like he's bemoaning all of this diversity and inclusion, and there's just too much of it. Well, sorry, not sorry. And it just shows all of the unhinged shit Channel 4 puts out. Just try showing this to kinksters with no prior knowledge of Taskmaster. They will assume this is content for them. No, like I've seen that play out on Tumblr where people have clicked on GIFs or something and they're just so mad and unhinged or so overtly sexual that they have to check out the source material. And
Yep.
then, like, that happened to me, only it was watching Josh Whitcomb count beans on TikTok, and I was like, what the fuck is this? And why is Josh doing this? I need context. And there was no context to be found. They just decided it would be funny to make Josh do this.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's that was shot better than kink scenes in any film I've ever seen. Like, it was approached better, it looked better, it was everything that it needed to be, and it wasn't. If someone who had absolutely no knowledge of kink saw that, that wasn't sexual.
But it was kinked.
It was kink. It was absolutely kink. But yeah, like he's in his underpants. Someone's written all over him. He's lapping up yogurt off of someone's shoes. To I'd say the majority of people, that in a vacuum is not necessarily a sexual thing.
Right.
But holy shit, I can't believe they can show that on television.
I was baffled.
I,
Because, like, I mean, and the layers of it too are just so intense because you've got him walking out basically naked
yeah.
with writing all over him. Then you've got him kneeling down and crawling to Alex, and then you've got the licking off of the shoes, and that's enough. Like, that's more than enough.
And he
then
was
you
so
add
into
what
it.
he
Why
said,
was he
what
into
he said
it?
to Alex, and I was just like, what is happening? What is happening? What is happening?
No, genuinely, I can't get past, like, I have seen, what the fuck is that? Naked Attraction.
Oh yeah.
Like, I remember finding out that my uncle watches it by walking into the front room, and it's like, why the fuck do you have this on? But like,
Dude, I don't understand.
yeah, like it filth is what I've written down. Straight kink filth.
Yep.
Like, I mean, yeah.
I mean,
yeah. Genuinely, I'm still stuck on the fact that this was on television, basically.
Yep. I could not believe what I was watching. I was just like, that is an episode that I would have loved to watch with other people,
Oh, I
like live,
bet.
like in person.
Oh, I
Because
bet.
I was watching with the group chat, but uh I was alone in a building by myself, and I was just like,
Yeah, no, I usually watch these about 2 or 3 times anyway, even before we started doing these. This was one of those episodes that, like, I remembered watching it, but I took none of it in. And I still barely remember anything that happened because
I
the
mean,
entirety
I
of my
can't
bandwidth was
even
taken up by Matt.
I can't even look at the gift sets without my brain short circuiting because I'm just like, what?
Oh, you should have heard me giggling when I made the thumbnail.
The thumbnail's so good. You were like, oh, I gotta come up with a thumbnail. I'm like, literally this. I didn't even have to think about it. I was like, you should just do this. And you're like, actually, that's really funny.
Well, I was probably going to use that scene anyway, but the idea of
I mean, how can you
censoring him
not?
out was
I mean,
just
they
the
can just
cherry on
stop
top.
doing Taskmaster at this point because it's done.
Yeah.
That's the peak. That's the high point. I mean, what are they gonna? How are they gonna?
People have been accusing them of having jumped the shark for years now. I think this was Fonzie in the leather jacket, right there.
It's just insane to me that he did that. And then he was like, "Yeah, I regret doing that." And I'm like, "Yeah, no kidding. You regret doing that
What I
because now
love,
you have to think about the fact that you have to pick your kids up from school."
he put as much effort into that as he did into the character that was waterboarding Alex.
I,
Like,
I, 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 I I don't know what to think about Matt anymore at this point because I'm just terrified of him. Like, what is this
I
man
can't
doing?
wait until you do a rewatch of Ghosts. You're
Of
never
course.
gonna see
Oh my
Thomas
God.
in the same light.
Oh, Thomas. I mean, he was my favorite ghost. He was my favorite ghost, and I was so excited that he was going to be. Now, like, don't get me wrong. I'm not like, ew, I hate Matt now. Like, no, that's not what's happened. But I'm just like, this man can and will do anything it takes to get these points
He
at this point
will.
because it's just like, what is going on, and why? How has this been allowed to air? I mean, it's too good to not
I
show.
mean, we were
But
already accusing
also,
this show of being way hornier than usual.
this series is like the most unhinged series I think we've had
Yeah.
since
I
forever,
genuinely,
really.
yeah, I genuinely put it above 5 and 7. Like
Yeah.
this,
I
I'll tell
mean,
you what it is. They're comfortable. They know they ain't going anywhere.
yeah, that's true.
Like
I mean,
at
we
this
keep
point, it's
joking. We keep joking that the next stage is Greg and Alex fucking on stage.
I
But like I mean, what Matt did was just so much. And it was more than any of us could have ever hoped for.
yeah,
I don't
yeah.
know if that's the
Apricot
right phrase,
says that
but
they expected him to be a pathetic wet fail or boy fail. Yeah, I thought that he was gonna be riding at the bottom.
get on my computer. There's a spider in my computer.
Uh oh. Does a spider have a heart?
Does a spider have a soul? Okay.
But yeah, like
Yeah, I will be asking the Andes, what the fuck?
I expected him and Rosie to just be down in Thicko corner with Ivo. They're battling it
Yeah,
out for first and second.
yeah. I mean, it's insane. It is insane what they're
I am
doing.
shooketh.
Yeah.
Like nothing that I could have anticipated about this show has actually gone the way I had expected.
Yep. I mean, it's just insane.
Yeah.
Like, at this point, I think we can expect, like, because obviously we're not getting Alex and Greg to fuck on stage because they will not air that. But I can fully expect like a Alex getting on his knees in front of Greg like for a throw to an ad break or something, and Greg like starting to undo his trousers. Like I'm fully expecting that to be next on the
So
list.
they
Fully
did.
expecting it.
So they kind of did that back in series something. One I recently watched,
Are you
but
talking about are you talking about when Greg is like, "Do you know what I want next, Alex?"
yes,
And
and
Alex is
Alex.
like, and he stands
I
up and he starts undoing his
I
it's like,
never
"No, not that."
understood what was going to happen there. Like there
This
were
game of gay
places
chicken is
like
too much.
like the Alex was clearly going for a joke there, or Greg, or
Yeah,
whoever wrote that. That there was
yeah.
clearly a very specific joke, and I'm struggling to think of anything else it could be interpreted as.
I mean, we
Father
were
son
watching this
relationship, my
episode.
aching ass.
Yeah. We were watching this episode and uh chatting in the group chat and you were like TK got played in that interview with Alex.
You
And I was
did!
like, yeah, I sure did, buddy.
You
I sure
absolutely did. He played you like a fiddle.
did.
I,
Oh my gosh. Okay, I guess we should move on. I don't know how we're supposed to move on from this
I
ever.
don't know. Okay, fine.
But
Task number 4. Put at least 6 liters of water in this vase. You must either use bucket A and root A, or bucket B and root B. If you choose A, you must complete one task at every obstacle. If you choose B, you must trot throughout. You must stay within the arena at all times, and you must never touch the vase. Fucking hell, Alex. That is too many words.
now, before we get into this, we did have a segue into, I don't remember, but
Yeah,
somewhere
I
around
wrote
here.
down who is Alex trying to hook up with.
Yeah, also, we should really hook up, wink. And then Greg being furious that Alex was like, like get trying to get himself out there to other people. Greg being like, "Excuse you, you belong to me. You are my property."
Yeah, like,
Love.
again, things were written that clearly have a punchline that we're never going to know the answer to.
Yep.
I'm-
Wild. Okay, so
So getting
I'm
6
gonna say,
liters of water into the vase.
okay, I'm gonna say right off the bat, I did not think that Fatiha should have gotten. I think she should have gotten disqualified because it said you have to use the bucket. Like it said if you do route B, you have to use bucket B. And she was like, "I'm going to use the wellies." And I'm like, "That's not a bucket, girl." I mean, like I guess technically she used the bucket as
Yeah, she did use the bucket.
an opposite way.
The,
What did
the
she call it?
She called it a funnel.
Funnel?
And
Yeah,
Greg
that
even
wasn't a
called her
funnel.
out on that, but she did make a genuine attempt at still using the bucket.
But what I'm saying
No,
is, if
yeah,
I was Greg, I would have disqualified her because she wasn't using the bucket to transport the water.
but she did.
And
It
again,
doesn't say
a
use the
like
bucket to
an
transfer
argument
water.
could be made. Well, yeah, the argument could be made that she was using the bucket as a funnel, which that wasn't a funnel, but she
No,
was using the bucket.
yeah,
Um,
yeah. To rules lawyer, this it doesn't say you must use the bucket to transport the water.
yeah. And then we got Matt's little sassy walk,
Yes.
his little like, I'm like, what are you doing? Stop, stop, stop that.
I
Get
know
out.
exactly what he was doing. He was doing that walk that everyone did at the Olympics throughout the 80s and 90s. That
Oh,
power
that's really
strut,
funny.
that's what that was.
I see. It was really cute,
It
whatever it
was.
was. There was a shot. I wanna call out the camera people or the editors or whoever is in charge of this. There was a great shot from the Greg statue. It was like from Greg's arm or something or his hand, and it was like out like the camera was going out onto the lawn, but it was clearly like the camera was on the Greg
Mm.
statue. Gorgeous, gorgeous
Like
cinematography there.
this
Great shot.
entire series has been so bright and so colorful.
I mean, it's been gorgeous.
It
Like
has.
this truly is, I think, one of the best series that we've had of all time.
Yeah, like I'm not usually someone who will say, this has been the best series. I like for I think up until now, the best series have been 5, 7, and 9 in that order. And I think this has surpassed all of them.
Yeah, it's insane.
Like,
Um, so we get Alex's shoes taken off again to be used.
yes.
So thank you, Fatiha, for that.
Well,
That
I've
was
got that
amazing.
Matt forgot the water, and Stevie had a nightmare.
That was so funny. Oh, I feel so bad for Stevie. She was like on the podcast, she was like, I got drenched, which like, it was a hot day, so it was actually kind of nice, but I got drenched. I'm
And then the
like, yeah, that
one
sucks,
time
man.
she pulls a task that doesn't tell her to chuck all her water, She just
Yeah,
spaces
and
out and
when
pulls
Matt
another
went through the
one.
first time, all of Matt's tasks were like continue, and he didn't have the water, and I was like, dude, that's such a wasted opportunity.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I mean, not like it mattered because he's gonna win this whole series anyway, but also really brief interjection here to talk about the interstitials that Alex does in this episode with the
God,
marshmallows.
there was such a
So
nasty one in that.
the four, I think it was the four, where it was an opposite one where or like a they rewind the tape or whatever it is, and he pulls the marshmallow out of his mouth, and I was like, there is already enough disgusting things in this episode. I don't need to see this marshmallow being
Ugh.
pulled out of your mouth. Nightmare Alex fuel. But this did remind me that in one of I think it's one of the more recent seasons of Taskmaster New Zealand. Sorry, I was going to be like series, and then I was like, no, they call it seasons of Taskmaster New Zealand. Paul does some marshmallow interstitials, but they are, sorry, I had to wipe the drool off my face. Much better than Alex because of Paul's. There's one, and I can't do it justice just by describing it, but there's one where like the camera pans across this thing and he like is closing his eyes and he's putting this marshmallow in his mouth and he like pulls out the stick or whatever or his finger or maybe puts it in with his fingers or whatever and he just like looks so like hot and I'm just like I can't deal with this. I cannot deal with this. Like immediately after that episode, I was like, Jazz, I'm gonna need the marshmallow interstitials as gifts, please, and thank you, because oh my god. So anytime anyone is like, oh, like, I don't know if I should get into Taskmaster New Zealand, I always send them that gif and be like, do it for Paul Williams eating these marshmallows because you will never be the same again. Okay. Like oh my gosh. I'm obsessed with this man eating marshmallows. But yeah, and then Alex with marshmallows, I was like, Alex, I love you, but Paul did it better.
I have such a sensitive gag reflex, and this entire episode is a nightmare. So many things are just
Yeah, a lot. Yeah. Sophie Duker would be proud.
ugh.
Sophie Duker, I want to know what Sophie thought of Matt's attempt because I bet she was sitting in her couch or whatever, being like, yes, Matt, yes, is why we're here. Oh,
So then we
man.
have Rosie.
She was just having a good time.
Oh, I got
She's just out
confused.
here poopity
I
clopping.
was still on the last task and was thinking of something else.
Mm. No, Rosie was just clip clopping through
Yep.
life, having a great time. Um, I
Ooh.
wrote, I was really mad about this. I wrote, unbelievable that Jason didn't get points for this water task. And I know that it said at least 6 liters.
Yeah.
And I know that technically he didn't get 6 liters. But I felt like if Fatiha was allowed to get points for her attempt of using shoes and wellies, Jason should have gotten points for this attempt. That's what I thought, and I was real mad about it.
Yeah, I put Jason nailed it, then fucked it.
Yeah.
Also, can we talk about Rosie fundamentally misunderstanding this task?
I
So
mean,
she
it's another
chose.
classic case of Alex being like, all the information's in the task.
Yeah, like
And
he
she's
was
like,
being.
I'm gonna choose the hardest path to go.
Yeah, and he's just,
Okay.
stood by being King Dickhead over there while she's trying to trot through the obstacle course with the hole, or with the bucket with the big giant hole. And she just can't work out why this isn't working.
Yep. I don't know what to tell you, girl. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know.
And then, yeah.
Um,
So yeah, and then Fathia, she didn't just take Alex's shoes. She also stole some boots from the hutch.
Yeah.
Which, yeah, I was wondering how much his grotty old shoes were actually going to be able to help, especially with those menstrual pads in them.
Yeah, they're soaking up all the water.
Like,
So weird.
my guy, Dr. Scholl's are cheap.
Well, the assistant doesn't get paid like anything, so
I love how he's that into
he's got he's
character.
got he's got 7 kids he's got to feed, or however many
Have
he
we
has
talked
nowadays.
about how horrific that was, by the way?
What the
Mark is the baby.
ads in the suit? Oh well, no, I don't want to think about that ever again. I don't want to. I
I
would
love how
rather
the
rewatch. I would rather rewatch Sophie and Matt's tasks back to back than ever see that Mark baby again. Mark, I love you, but Jesus
I
Christ,
love how the entire fandom had the same visceral nope reaction to it. Just make it go away.
awful. Whoever's idea that was, fuck you. With all the love in my heart,
It
fuck
was
you.
why?
Yeah, and then the feet thing. No, 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 no. And for anyone that's not understanding what we're talking about, go watch the Horn Section TV show season
It
2.
was just as
And
bad, honestly.
bleh, bleh.
The entire second series was just on one, which again felt like Alex knows they're going to say yes to him, which they did eventually. So it doesn't
Yeah,
matter what we put in. Let's traumatize everybody.
yeah, no.
Which, yeah, we haven't really discussed that on here, which I feel like we should.
Oh, maybe we should. Maybe I'll rewatch everything and
Yeah, we'll do that when
uh,
you're settled.
well, Ben needs to email me back because he emailed me being like, "Hey, let's set up a podcast interview." And I was like, "Yeah, sounds great." And then I never heard back from him. So I need to email him after I get back from camp to be
Name
like, "Hey,
Shane.
bestie, you still want to come on the pod?" Um, yeah. So okay.
Yes, Kyle's uh, rendition of Seasons was
Yeah,
amazing.
version of seasons. Yeah.
That was so
Yeah, I guess
good.
we should.
I loved that
You know
entire
what? We
character.
there is a lot of shippy stuff, especially like Alex and Joe shippers.
Oh my god.
They ate a
Yeah, they
feast
really
this
did.
season. Man.
But you know, like a couple years now, like right after he did right after Taskmaster was over, he did Nevermind the Buzzcocks. And that was cool. It's like, "Oh hey, look at that." And I could never work out why he'd gone platinum blonde. Cuz it's not a very good
Oh,
look on him. Yeah, Kyle was. And
oh,
so
Kyle. I was like, Joe? What are you
no.
talking about?
But yeah, like I couldn't work that out. Finally I've got the answer. It was to play whatever that was. I think I've watched it 2 or 3 times and I still haven't entirely taken it in.
Yeah. At some point, and I don't remember, at some point, this is a scoreboard update or something, and Alex says 12 points less than Matt. And I went, fewer, Alex. 12 points
Oh,
fewer.
no, he breaks his own rules all the time.
I was angry about that. All right, let's talk about the live task.
Okay, so
It was,
live
I
team
was like
task.
panicking. I was like, my heart was racing
I,
so much, and
I
I was like,
did
this is
not
so tense.
understand. Again, so many fucking words. I didn't understand this until I saw them doing it. Get one
Yeah.
of your balls into the. Let me start that over. Get one of your balls into your bucket. Your spoons must be poking through the fence when touching the ball, and only your spoons may touch your ball. You. Fucking hell. I hate the way this is worded. You may not
Yeah.
touch the other team's balls or buckets or spoons. You must always be on your side of the fence, and your balls must always be on the other. If your ball touches the ground, you must start again. And then there was this whole long explanation of you must have the spoon here, not here, not here, must be here.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's the fucking holy hand grenade of Antioch.
Yep.
But,
But yeah, I thought it was really fun. I thought the method that Stevie and Jason came up with was really good.
yeah, so what I've
Uh,
got is that Jason and Stevie are perfectly in sync after they're done screaming at one another.
yes. And they did so well, and Jason was so upset. Like I actually thought it was really sweet that he was like apologizing to Stevie
Yeah,
because it was really clear. I mean, it's clear that they got along really well as a team, which,
yeah,
you
and
know,
then
is
he
always
just
good to see.
fucking had that big old tantrum again after
Yeah.
falling out of his chair dead when he found out he got no points for the water.
Yeah. And then when Stevie went in for the hug afterwards and he was like, "Don't touch me." I felt that so bad because my partner is like that. Like whenever he gets upset, he's like, "Don't fucking touch me." And I'm the opposite where I'm like, "I need a big, big hug." And so when she was like, and
With the
then because
spoons.
Alex was like, "Hold him," and then Stevie like did the spoons, and she's like, "I'm locked in." I was like, "Oh my gosh!" And then they went in for the hug, and it was like the sweetest thing ever. I was like
See,
crying.
that's what I
Oh my gosh, it was so sweet.
so that's one of those things that I really love about this show, and you don't get to see any of it unless you're like a greater Britcom in general fan. Is that this show makes so many weird friendships that would never have happened otherwise. Like I love
Yeah,
I
yeah,
love
for sure.
seeing these like little groups that spin off shortly after they do Taskmaster, and it's like, oh, look, they're friends and doing projects now together.
Yeah.
And yeah, like
I think that Stevie and Jason need to get matching tattoos that say "I'm locked in."
well, see, I wouldn't be surprised if in future they wind up doing something a little more sane together. And by sane, I mean not whatever the fuck this series of Taskmaster is.
Yeah, it's too bad. I was about to say it's too bad Brooklyn Nine-Nine is over. Is Brooklyn Nine-Nine over?
I've never seen it.
Surely it is. Surely there's no. I stopped watching it like I got a decent way through, but then I just stopped. Um, but
Yes,
yeah,
the TV
I don't know.
show
I mean,
Brooklyn Nine-Nine
she
is
does
over.
TV shows. She does TV shows now too, so
Yeah,
it's not out of the realm of possibilities. JV Martzukis merch when.
yes.
Yeah. We need like jerseys or something. So good. Um, yeah, we didn't learn anything, which was sad. And then Matt
But
won the
yes, the
episode, and Matt's doing so well. I mean, it's insane.
but yes, that live task was pure innuendo. Like, why is it worded that way?
Yep.
Alex, your tasks are getting out of control.
Keep doing them. Love the fandom.
No,
Yeah, I mean, it's
no.
it's getting to the point where I can't even keep up with all these fic prompts because, well, being at camp and in the middle of moving to a different apartment doesn't help. But like, oh my gosh, I just ugh, like
Being an
why
adult sucks.
I can't wait until we get more outtakes
Oh
because
yeah, we're due
the
some.
outtakes have been so okay, so the outtakes that we've gotten since last time were one of them with Fatiha, I think.
Well, what's
Which one was
annoying is that they don't all seem to go out to all channels. Like there's always going to be one that's Facebook exclusive and one that they only put up on YouTube, and I feel like I don't always see all of them because of that.
oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I hope that we get outtakes from Matt's like discussion about Matt's task. Um, because I would love to hear the chat in studio about how they had to CGI out his junk during the on the day.
I I need
Uh,
I need outtakes of Greg's fly.
yeah, man, that was,
I
oh my gosh,
just
amazing.
the moment he loses confidence with it, I think is what absolutely makes it.
So funny. I did write a fic. I I I forget. Oh, it's called Nicest to Open. I wrote a little fic. Very cute, very short. Um, yep. I mean, it's just that we can't keep up.
No.
And it's I'm already posting one either fic or chapter of a fic per day. I broke my like rule yesterday and posted 3 because I was like, I just can't hold on to these forever. Because there's one that I wrote. I need to write the safe word one and probably a couple more, but there's one that I wrote about like Fatiha like hunting Greg.
The one
I'm not gonna
time
post that for a couple days.
the one time Alex considered abandoning ship on a bit. Yep. I think that was his or Greg's fly. I love it.
So funny. So yep,
Yeah.
that was an episode. All
That
right.
was an episode.
Family friendly light comedy entertainment show.
He's lost the right to say that. He cannot say it's a
You
family show anymore.
sure.
That was
I I
that was
wonder what
kink
they're
on
have
television.
they put the episode out on Taskmaster Bleeped yet?
I don't know.
And if so, did they just cut half the episode?
Isn't that funny that this ties in exactly with something that was said last week with Dr. Ali about how they'll try to use a task for the
Yeah,
children and then oh
yeah.
god, this is filth.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean,
Yep.
the one thing about this one though, it was so memorable. They're never going to accidentally use that task.
Yeah. I mean, it's just insane what we watched this week. And I don't know if I'm ready for next I mean, like how are we supposed to recover from that?
I don't
And
know.
are we going to get even more unhinged stuff?
Well, see now it seems to me like they use or if there's a really big unexpected task like that, that usually gets saved for the very end. Usually like 9 or 10. They've put this in 7
I don't like that. I don't trust like that. That makes me very, very scared.
because because remember they had to do um the hotel taskmaster.
Oh my
They had to do
gosh,
the
you're right.
extended versions because they could not get permission for Julian to say "see you next Tuesday" to Alex or twice. They couldn't get permission for him to say it twice, so they
Right.
had to put the second one into the extended version, and then that was 16. God, they all blur together. I
Apricot says, we need Alex back on the podcast just to ask, hey, were you aware that that's just king?
So yeah, the one from 17 then that is I just oh that was the big one that came back was when they had to find their friend and it was that mannequin that they dressed up.
That was a
And
cute
Steve
one.
Pemberton's
Like,
was alive cuz he forgot that he wore the mannequin. And
yes,
then
that was so
surely they did something for 18 like that, but my brain is a sieve.
Your brain is a sieve. My brain is a sieve.
Shall we do some some sport talk? Basically, is some stat talk, points talk, scores. That's what I
Yeah.
was trying to say.
Yep.
So we end the episode with Matt once again winning 23, Rosie 20, Fatia 18, Jason and Stevie each on 6, which is,
That's
I
rough, man.
think that's
That
the
is
lowest
rough.
ever. I'd have to double
Ed said
check.
it was. I don't. Yeah, we would have to check. I don't think it's the lowest. It might not be the lowest ever, but it's definitely down there.
Yeah. And then
So,
overall, we have Matt in the lead, 123. Rosie's only 10 behind, 113.
I can't believe Rosie is in second place.
And then Fatia, she is closing that gap. She's at 106. And the gulf between her and Matt is big, but that's not much of a gulf between her and Rosie and Matt. And then Stevie and Jason are down there, each sitting on 90. That.
Yeah, it's not looking good for our heroes, and by our heroes, I mean the people that I thought would win.
See,
I
I'm
had
happy.
Stevie in first and Jason on second, and
I had Fatia
Rosie.
to win just as a dark horse, but like third ain't bad. Like she'd have to be
Yes,
doing really
my
poorly.
girl Stevie's making me look bad.
But
Yep.
I don't think Fatia's in there to win anymore. I think that gap has been closed off.
Well, yeah. I mean, she probably has a few tasks coming up where she just doesn't do anything. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? But yeah, we'll see.
But with 3 episodes left, Rosie could still wipe Matt off there. Cause he had like that's the thing. He's winning off of his prize tasks and the few ones where he absolutely nails it. But he is so inconsistent.
Yeah, I mean, I would personally be happy if Matt won. Because again, I knew him from Ghosts. And also, as somebody points out in here, Sakiko says, if anyone's ever done everything to deserve the win, then surely it's Matt.
Yeah.
It's like, you right. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I don't know, man.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean,
The
like
problem is that
there's a
both
thing.
Matt and Rosie are hilariously inconsistent.
Yeah.
So
I
literally
mean,
either
there's the
one.
problem also of like, I'd love for Matt to win, but it's like another
I'm so sick of
cis white
Champion of
man,
Champions being
cis white
an
man.
array of white men.
Yeah. So it's like, can we change this up, please? But again, but then I love Matt, so I'm like, you know, torn between wanting him to win and yeah, I don't know.
But
It's tricky.
yeah. So the next 3 episode titles. Science All Your Life, Getaway Sticks, and The Clever Side.
Hmm. I don't know about this. Well,
Oh my
we
goodness.
certainly will have an exciting rest of the series to look forward to, I guess. I mean,
Oh
I
my
don't.
god.
There is literally no way that we can prepare ourselves for whatever's coming next.
No.
Like there
No.
just isn't.
Like
And I am scared.
if they put that one at episode 7 and they don't have anything bigger to end the series on, I'm not going to trust anything ever.
Yep.
On the other side, whatever's going to be better than that, bigger than that, more unexpected than that, I don't know if I want to see it.
I
I
mean,
think it might just make my brain short circuit because I still don't understand it.
yeah.
I think that's what it is. That there's no context for the direction that it's coming from. So I'm just over here going, what the fuck did you mean by this? Which,
Yeah.
playing that game with Taskmaster only ever deals, or only ever ends in brain trauma.
Yeah.
Andy D put this ominous message onto Insta before episode 6, and I've been scared ever since. Ooh, I'm not on Instagram. What did he say?
Something ominous, I guess.
Yeah.
We will we will find out.
Yeah, we'll have to get
Also,
looking for that.
I think this is our record of longest live streams so
Yeah. one,
sorry.
almost said 1 minute 40. No, 1 hour 42.
1 minute 40 seconds. Bye. So that math thing was weird, right? Okay, see you next time.
That's our next April Fool's gag.
Oh my gosh. Except it's not, and I actually have to. You've reminded me that of what I need to do for our April Fool's gag because I need to start actually doing that. Uh, I'll have to
uh,
start after we move though because I think that'll be easier.
yeah, I've got some stuff I need to film as well. Basically, a comment about if you thought episode 5 was insane, to prepare
Oh
yourself, or
no.
something along. Oh, for fuck's sake.
Well, here we are. Yeah. I mean, Stevie was mentioning in the podcast that like, that Matt, like, he's in good shape, like he's very attractive. And so she's like, "Oh wow, he like took his clothes off." Like that's not like I don't think you're doing what you're intending to be doing because least dignity, right? And like if you're taking your clothes off and you're like ripped, like that's obviously not what you want to go for. But the second he got down on the grass, I was
Yeah.
like gone. I was gone. I was gone. I
I,
was like, I
I,
can't.
my flabber had been gasted. I was like,
Yeah.
like, I'm not, am I seeing this? And then he just started going to town. And, like, what the fuck?
I
I
I
feel like
can't
my
look at those
consent should
gifts
have
for
been
too
asked.
long. It's like the sun. It's like I can't stare at it for too long or else I'm gonna go blind.
It's like that meme. This is what it is. It's that meme that's like, I consent, I consent. Do you know who doesn't consent? The fucking audience.
Yeah, for real though.
Okay,
But I
also,
this episode legitimately made me feel like they should have put a like not content warning, but something along those lines at the top of the episode to be like,
yeah,
this episode contains like we know it contains mature content. This this content contains explicit kink.
this content contains kink on Maine.
Yeah, it sure does.
Oh my god, and then there was that article who was taking those the Twitter reactions and seemed to think that they were meant earnestly. People calling it filth and a travesty and all that. And it's like, yes, because that's the only sane way to react to that.
Yeah. I mean, what else are you going to describe it as? Wholesome, child-friendly content? No. No. No,
It
you
was
will not.
insanity. And I
No
can't
one in their
believe
right mind is
Matt
going to
did
show their
that.
child this.
No. I feel personally attacked by that task.
Yeah, that's real. This
And
episode contains kink. Yeah, you right.
and then I think
I
what
mean,
just, yeah, but I think what really pushed it over the top is I hope that some of the crew are really good actors, because some of them did not seem comfortable with being part of this scene. And I mean scene in the kink sense.
Yeah. Yeah, I would have definitely been one of those crew members to be like, I will happily do this. I will happily stand here and take a video on my phone of Matthew Bainton walking around, crawling around on the ground
I
in just his pants.
I hope that that person was actually filming and that there's
That
B-roll
would be
footage of that.
amazing. If that gets put up on Instagram or something, but it can't because the sun, so they'd have to edit it first. But like, oh my gosh, please.
Well, depending on the camera, iPhone can,
Actually, that's
yeah,
true. Yeah.
iPhones can do straight into the sun really, really well. But yeah, please,
And
if that exists, I want the B-roll.
yep. Well,
Something's
thanks
going
for
off.
joining us for
Yes, so thank you for hanging out with us and watching us lose our fucking minds for 2 hours.
as we
Um,
lose our goddamn
are you
minds.
are you still at camp next week?
Yep,
Okay,
it's
so
gonna be checkout day. So, and then I'm leaving on Monday after that.
okay.
I don't know when we're gonna do our live stream, but I'll let you know and then we'll
Yeah,
jump
so if
online.
you saw that it started at a different time than it did, that was because basically we had to wait for TK to be available. And so I didn't know when that was going to be, so I just kind of picked noon.
Yeah, sorry. I registration was today and we didn't know when all of the kids were coming. So,
Someone's alarm is
yep.
going off. I think it's mine, so I'd better go.
You're like, you've been doing this for 2 hours.
I haven't slept. I woke up at
Uh,
4 o'clock yesterday afternoon. It's now 1 o'clock today afternoon.
yeah.
Yay.
Well,
Well,
see ya next.
thank you for hanging out with us,
Bye.
guys. Bye.